Hey, this is Lynn. It is Monday. Usually it's weigh-in Monday, but Coach Lisa instructed me not to weigh in until the end of June because I texted her. I've been doing her fitness exercises, and I texted her and I said, ever since I started doing the exercises, I'm gaining weight. And she said, just don't weigh yourself. It'll come back off. And so I figured, all right. I kind of pushed back a little bit because I know that I do these weigh-in videos. And I decided I'm going to take her advice and I'm going to weigh in at the end of June. So I did cheat a little bit and I weighed in this morning just to check for myself. And I was down 2 pounds from my gain from all of her working out. But I do have so much to share. It has been an incredible week, and we've had Healing Humanity, the whole crew here. We had our meetup on Saturday. And for those of you who have been watching my lives, I've been doing little lives lately. You can see I did end up in the ER on Friday, and I'm glad I went. It turned out it was nothing. Well, I had a pain, and it felt like a squeezing pain in my chest. I could feel it in the front and then in the back, and it was something I hadn't felt before. And I felt all sorts of like gastrointestinal and digestion pain. I've had costochondritis in the past. I've had gallbladder pain, and I just was nervous because this was a different type of pain. And I knew I had the meetup coming up the next day, and then Kerry and Adam here filming, and my first flight with Dave on Sunday, and I was speaking at the meetup, and I thought I had better get checked out because in case it is something, I wouldn't want something really bad to happen during the meetup. And for those who have been following me, you know all the incredible health benefits I've had and the weight loss and my mast cell disease under control. So many people would say that carnivore, oh, well, you don't have to go to the doctor. You're great with carnivore. And it is 99% true, but I have to remind myself, I had 55 years of eating poorly and abusing my body and being ill chronically and with chronic disease. And so I don't want to just assume that everything is like flipping a switch and all of a sudden I am at zero risk for having any issues. I don't want to take risks when it comes to my heart for sure. And I don't expect that 55 years of eating poorly is going to be reversed in 2 years. So I would never advise anybody to ignore symptoms that need to be checked out right away. Absolutely go get checked out. But anyways, it ended up being fine. I got some IV fluids, which is great because I'm always dehydrated. And so I'm wondering, sorry, I'm out filming in my backyard. So my arm's getting a little sore. I'm going to switch arms. But anyways, so I got the EKG. They did an ultrasound of my heart. They did the chest x-ray and checked my cardiac enzymes. My troponins were 0. And a little dehydration was definitely there for sure. So the IV fluids were good. Jill Kennedy was with me. We were out. We did it. We found a geocache and we were peeking in, looking at the property that we want to put an offer in on. And then on the way back to the Airbnb where Kerry and Adam were, I felt this pain. And so she took me to the ER. So I'm so grateful, Jill. You're a wonderful friend. It was amazing to see you again. Got to see you first time in Nashville, and now you flew out to Seattle to spend time with us. And it's such a blessing to spend time with you. And it was awesome. I got to be with you, and you found your first geocache. Yay! So anyways, so that all worked out good. And I ended up actually taking an Ativan because I didn't know how much anxiety was playing a role in it. This was a lot of pressure and a lot of anticipation for this weekend. And I think that probably played a role. Plus, I'd been probably pushing myself a little more than I usually would with the exercises. I'm not used to doing push-ups, and so who knows if there was some sort of muscle strain that was going on. But I'm just very thankful that everything worked out okay. So the meetup was awesome, and I, for the second time, was able to stand through my whole presentation. My orthostatic intolerance was fine. It didn't cause me any problems, and got to meet a whole bunch of awesome people, and loved being able to see Helen, who's in Healing Humanity Life, and that was awesome. And watch Kerry's video where she showed her presentation, her speech. She was so good. I swear she needs to be the Healing Humanity cheerleader for sure. But anyways, so then yesterday, Adam and Kerry were at my house, and they were doing a bunch of what's called B-roll, and that's just, you know, filming me doing stuff around the house, working out in the garden, doing a bunch of things that I couldn't do before. Also taking some video of some, you know, me laying down and things that used to be normal for me. And then we did my first flight with Dave. So I have to be careful what I show, because if anything that I show is public, I can't show anything that they filmed. I can show a little bit of what I filmed. And so I will do that. I'll show you a little bit, but I can't show you everything, obviously, because they won't be able to use anything in the documentary that's already been published. So it's really important that I be careful. So I will go ahead and show you a little bit now. All right, I am getting ready for my first flight with Dave. Adam and Kerry are here, and they're gonna set things up in the plane, and then we're gonna film. So I'm excited, a little nervous, but overall excited. All right, so it went so well. I was a little bit nervous leading into it, and I went live just before. They had to get all the cameras set up in the plane, and they had a camera on the tail, and it was, yeah, and they were filming the whole, you know, outside as well as we were going, and they caught us in the air, and they caught us, you know, Dave went, he did a low flyover, like 50 feet, and just a low flyover along the runway, and then we took off again and went around, and then the second time around he landed, so they were able to catch the low flyover. But it couldn't have been a more beautiful day. The air was still, and it was clear and sunny, and you can see the snow-capped mountains and the river that runs through Snohomish, and you know, there's the Puget Sound. We weren't quite close enough to get to the coast, but after he was done with me, he took Adam up in the plane, and they flew actually over to the coast, which is just a few more minutes west of where I flew, and then he took Kerry up, and so they both got a ride, which was cool, and he took both of them over across the ocean. And yeah, I just felt really at peace, and it was amazing. I fit in the plane without any problem, and had plenty of extra room with the harness, the seat belt and the harness, and yeah, got to see where I live from a different view. And this is what my husband's been experiencing ever since we moved here, and he's always wanted to share it with me. And so after we landed, and you know, he turned off the engine, you know, I popped the little window open, and then Kerry showed up like with the camera and started asking me how I felt, and I just lost it. It was so emotional. And you know, to think that we've been married for almost 35 years and I'd never flown with him because of my health, in particular my weight. But even with my mast cell disease, it was warm up there. And it's been very warm, and with my heat intolerance for my mast cell disease, even if I had been a normal weight, I couldn't have done it because it was really warm. And I probably would have ended up having an anaphylactic reaction just from the warmth in the plane. So I am just really thankful and blessed that I have had so much improvement in my health that I've been able to do this. And yeah, it was just an emotional day. And I crashed. Oh my gosh, I think I must have slept 12 hours. It was just so draining because there was so much emotion and so much revisiting memories and things. And so, and just the huge non-scale goal. It was over a year, I think, or at least a year. Maybe it was maybe over a year and a half that I posted a video with 5 non-scale goals, but the biggest one was to fly with Dave. And so I've actually met that goal. I'm just, pretty overwhelmed. I hoped that I'd meet it at that time, but now, I've finally met it. And I'm so excited. It's just kind of surreal, to be honest. So tomorrow, Adam and Kerry are going to be back. They're filming Dr. Baker today, but they're going to be back tomorrow. And that's where we're doing the sit-down interviews. Kerry has a way of making people cry. So, but it was kind of funny because when they were filming me after the flight and I was crying, they were all teared up too. Adam and Kerry were both. And it's funny because I actually saw my son-in-law wiping his eyes. He claims it was allergies. All right. Well, anyways, I hope that you guys will stick around with me until I do my weigh-in at the end of the month, because I know usually you're used to seeing all my metrics and doing my weigh-in every week, but I figured I have not ever taken Coach Lisa's advice to just not weigh in, and I figured, I've been doing this for over 2 years. I think I can skip some more weeks, and we'll just see how I am at the end of June. My daughter and I still have to do our workout today, so we're probably going to do that a little later. It's warm. It is actually a really warm day, so I think I'm going to wait until it's a little cooler, and then we can do it this evening when it's not so hot. And I did look at the list of exercises to do. It's long, so I'm gonna maybe take it a little bit easier, and since my trip to the ER, and just work my way up to being able to do all these exercises, because I definitely have overdone it and I'm very sore, and so I need to hydrate for sure. But anyways, I think that's it. It's just been such a busy week and so packed, and I've been so overwhelmed by all of the support from everybody. And for those who have been following me for a long time, since I've actually posted those goals, I'm just so thankful that you're still here and you can see me accomplish it. So anyways, hope everyone's having an absolutely wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.